The air in Millington High School was thick with tension as the clock struck midnight. The once bustling corridors now echoed with an eerie silence, broken only by the distant hum of flickering fluorescent lights. The school had been abandoned for years, haunted by a dark history that refused to be forgotten. Legend had it that a series of unexplained incidents led to the school's abrupt closure, leaving behind a legacy of whispered tales and spine-chilling stories. One fateful night, a group of thrill-seekers decided to explore the forsaken halls, each harboring a morbid curiosity about the infamous school lockdowns that had occurred decades ago. As the group tiptoed through the dimly lit hallways, their flashlights casting long, ominous shadows, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The air seemed to constrict around them, and an inexplicable unease settled in their chests. The leader of the group, a brave soul named Alex, tried to dismiss the anxiety, urging the others to press on. Their journey led them to the heart of the school, the old gymnasium. The large double doors creaked open with reluctance, revealing a vast space swallowed by darkness. Moonlight filtered through the cracked windows, illuminating the forgotten basketball court, but something sinister lingered in the shadows. As they stepped onto the dusty floor, the group noticed the faint echoes of laughter, distant footsteps, and the faint murmur of conversations. Unsettled, they exchanged nervous glances, questioning whether the legends held any truth, but there was no turning back. Curiosity had them firmly in its grip. Suddenly, the gymnasium doors slammed shut, plunging them into absolute darkness. Panic set in as their flashlights flickered, casting fleeting glimpses of twisted, ghostly figures on the walls. The air grew colder, and an ominous whisper echoed through the room, the voices of tormented souls trapped within the school's haunted past. In the oppressive darkness, the group stumbled over unseen obstacles, their hands brushing against cold, clammy walls. The whispers grew louder, morphing into chilling tales of despair and tragedy. One voice spoke of a janitor who met a grisly end during a failed escape attempt, while another told of students who vanished without a trace during a lockdown, their anguished cries forever etched in the school's haunted halls. Desperation fueled their attempts to escape the gymnasium, but the doors remained sealed shut. Shadows danced along the walls, and the air became thick with a malevolent force. As the group huddled together, their breaths visible in the frigid air, the temperature dropped to an unnatural degree. A flickering light emanated from the center of the gymnasium, revealing an old projector casting ghastly images on a tattered screen. The images depicted the faces of those who had suffered within the school's walls, the janitor with hollow eyes, the missing students frozen in eternal anguish. The group recoiled in horror as the images seemed to come to life, reaching out to them with spectral hands. In a desperate bid to break free, they chanted an incantation they found in an ancient book they brought along for such occasions. As the last word left their lips, a blinding light enveloped the gymnasium. When the group opened their eyes, they found themselves back outside the school, the looming building now silent and foreboding. The legends of Millington High School persisted, passed down through generations as a cautionary tale. The group, forever changed by their nightmarish encounter, could never forget the haunted whispers that echoed through the halls. The school remained abandoned, a ghostly monument to a past that refused to rest in peace. The small town of Ravenswood was nestled in the heart of dense woods, its only notable structure being the ancient Ravenswood High School. The school had a history steeped in mystery, and unsettling tales of inexplicable events during school lockdowns circulated among the locals. Determined to uncover the truth, a group of intrepid teenagers decided to spend a night within the ominous walls of Ravenswood High. As the clock struck midnight, the group entered through a broken window, their flashlights flickering in the oppressive darkness. The air inside felt heavy, as if the very walls held the secrets of generations past. The main hallway echoed with the distant murmur of whispered voices and the soft shuffling of unseen footsteps. Their journey led them to the school's abandoned library, where time seemed frozen in the layers of dust that coated every surface. The group scattered, each exploring a different corner of the room. The eerie quiet was shattered by the creaking of an old book cart that rolled toward them, seemingly propelled by an unseen force. They exchanged nervous glances, their breaths hanging in the frigid air. The library's silence was shattered by a distant sound, the faint ring of a school bell. Panic seized the group as they realized it was not just any bell, but the one that had signaled lockdowns for generations. It echoed through the hallways, a spectral reminder of the past. With trepidation, they ventured into the darkened corridors, guided only by the intermittent flickering of their flashlights. The air grew colder with each step, and an indescribable dread settled over them. The group found themselves in front of a door marked Storage Room 13, a place rumored to be the epicenter of the school's dark secrets. As they cautiously pushed open the door, an unearthly coldness greeted them. The room was filled with rows of dusty, forgotten school desks, arranged in perfect symmetry. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and the group felt an unseen presence watching them from the shadows. Suddenly, the room plunged into complete darkness. A guttural whisper echoed through the air, recounting tales of students who had faced the unexplained horrors of lockdowns past. The group strained to listen, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and fascination. As the tales unfolded, the room seemed to come alive with apparitions of tormented students, their faces frozen in eternal despair. Each figure shared a harrowing experience, a lockdown gone horribly wrong, a spectral teacher who enforced an otherworldly discipline, and the haunting vision of a ghostly janitor who wandered the halls in perpetual search of something lost. The group, gripped by an otherworldly force, witnessed the reenactment of these gruesome stories. The air was filled with anguished cries, the sound of slamming lockers, and the ghostly echoes of phantom footsteps. The boundary between reality and the supernatural blurred, trapping them in a nightmarish tapestry woven from the threads of the school's dark history. In a desperate attempt to break free, the group recited an incantation they had discovered in a tattered journal. A blinding light enveloped them, and when it faded, they found themselves standing outside Ravenswood High School. The once darkened windows now stared at them like empty eyes, and the night was eerily silent. As dawn broke, the group stumbled away from the school, haunted by the horrifying visions they had witnessed. Ravenswood High School stood as a spectral sentinel, guarding its secrets with an ominous silence. The tales of creepy lockdowns, once whispered among the townsfolk, now held a chilling truth that could never be erased from the minds of those who dared to explore the dark recesses of its haunted halls. In the small town of Hollowridge, a dilapidated school named Blackwood High stood as a decaying monument to forgotten memories. The townspeople spoke in hushed tones about the strange occurrences that took place during school lockdowns. A group of friends, enticed by the allure of the unknown, decided to uncover the mysteries hidden within the desolate halls of Blackwood. As the clock struck midnight, the group cautiously entered the school, the creaking door echoing through the silent corridors. Moonlight filtered through grimy windows, casting eerie shadows that danced on the peeling wallpaper. The air inside was thick with the scent of decay, and the friends could feel the weight of history pressing down on them. They made their way to the heart of the school, the auditorium, a place that held an unsettling reputation. Legend had it that during a particularly infamous lockdown, students claimed to have heard spectral whispers and witnessed shadows moving across the stage. Undeterred by the ominous tales, the group entered the auditorium with a mixture of fear and fascination. As they stepped onto the stage, the air seemed to change, becoming charged with an otherworldly energy. The auditorium lights flickered, casting an unsettling glow over the rows of empty seats. Suddenly, the heavy velvet curtains began to sway, as if moved by an invisible wind. The group exchanged nervous glances, realizing they were not alone. Whispers enveloped the auditorium, soft and indistinct, as if the very walls were murmuring forgotten secrets. The friends strained to listen, catching fragments of tales about a teacher who had mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind a legacy of eerie occurrences. The whispers spoke of a hidden protocol, the Midnight Protocol, a set of mysterious rules that governed the school's supernatural lockdowns. As the friends immersed themselves in the spectral tales, The auditorium doors slammed shut. Panic set in as they tried to force the doors open, but an unseen force held them in place. The air became frigid, and an ethereal glow illuminated the stage, revealing the ghostly figure of a woman in a tattered teacher's gown. The apparition spoke, her voice echoing through the auditorium, recounting the events that led to the creation of the Midnight Protocol. Decades ago, Blackwood High had been a safe haven for a coven of witches, their secret rituals hidden from prying eyes. When a group of students stumbled upon their clandestine activities, the witches enacted the Midnight Protocol, trapping the intruders within a spectral realm. The friends listened in horror as the ghostly teacher detailed the rules of the Midnight Protocol, a series of tasks they must complete to break free from the supernatural lockdown. The tasks ranged from solving cryptic riddles to confronting their deepest fears, all within the confines of the haunted school. Determined to escape, the friends embarked on their nightmarish journey. The corridors twisted and turned, becoming a labyrinth of shifting walls and phantom echoes. As they progressed, the friends encountered spectral manifestations of their own fears, shadowy figures that whispered doubts and insecurities, urging them to abandon their quest. With each completed task, the spectral atmosphere intensified, and the friends could feel the grip of the Midnight Protocol tightening. The apparitions grew more menacing, and the school seemed to come alive with a malevolent force. The friends pressed on, driven by a desperate need to break free from the clutches of the supernatural lockdown. In the heart of the school, they discovered a hidden chamber, its walls adorned with ancient symbols. At its center, an ornate book lay open, revealing the final task, a ritual that required the sacrifice of a treasured possession. Reluctantly, each friend offered something dear, sealing their commitment to the Midnight Protocol. As the last possession was sacrificed, the school quivered, and the spectral realm began to unravel. The friends found themselves standing outside Blackwood High, the first light of dawn breaking on the horizon. The once haunted school now stood silent and still, as if it had absorbed the energy of their harrowing journey. The friends, forever changed by their nightmarish ordeal, dispersed into the waking town of Holleridge. The Midnight Protocol, once a whispered legend, now lived on in the shared experiences of those who had dared to challenge the supernatural lockdowns of Blackwood High. The decaying school, its secrets unveiled, stood as a testament to the thin veil between the living and the supernatural. A veil that, once breached, could plunge the daring into a realm of nightmares and twisted rituals.